everybody, welcome back, and it's time for another tutorial. And if you are still with me, then bless you, because we are about halfway through, and that means that you are not quite sick of seeing my face yet, which I'm very grateful for. But we are creating this look today. It is another one of those looks that's going to be great for somebody just getting into makeup, or somebody who doesn't like to deal with lashes or winged liner. It is a smoky, very feminine look with a little bit of sultriness going on, but it's still very glam, very party, New Year's Eve festive appropriate. But today's palette is actually the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, and again, I've kind of talked about this before. I wanted this process to not just be about using palettes in my collection that and making use of what I already have, but I also wanted to use them in a new way, in a way that is a little bit more unexpected or a little bit more out of the norm for me. So for me, this is a beautiful everyday neutral palette. Since I am more on the fair side, this is something that I can just get some beautiful, just kind of simple, just throw on and go type looks, but I really tend to stay away from these colors up here. But I wanted to do something different, so I took a chance and combined this punk shade, which is one of my favorites in the palette, with this Harajuku shade, and I just really like the way it turned out. I think it's a really pretty, soft, feminine, but sexy type of look, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. But if you want to see how I got this look using the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette, then stick around. Alright guys, I've already primed my eye. I just used my concealer today, so we're going to jump right into the tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Wet n Wild Fluffy brush. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the shade Stark, which is just a really pretty light beigey color. We're just going to start laying that down in the crease area. And I'm going to pick up my BR250 brush, and we're going to go into the shade right next to it called Zone. This is just a nice warmer brown. I want to keep this look a little bit on the warmer side because we are doing some pinks and that really pretty deep dark kind of brown burgundy shade. So I'm really going to place that color in the outer corner. And once I've laid down the color, we're going to start bringing it over. Once that color's down, just with no more product, we're going to go back in and just blend everything out. Now I'm going to pick up a BRC S20 brush. It is just a flat eyeshadow brush. And we're going to go into this beautiful shade in the palette called Punk. This one right here. This is probably my favorite shade in the palette. I just think it's very unique and gorgeous. And I'm just going to start placing that right in the outer corner. I'm going to take it up just a little bit. We're going to bring it over about a third of the way across the eye. Really just build up that color right there. And once I've done that, I'm going to pick up, this is an MUA 315 brush. It's just a really small crease brush. We're going to start blending that out. I'm going to go back in with my BR250 with no more product on it. Again, just blend it out. Now I'm just going to pick up a small shader brush. This one is from MASH, and I'm going to go into the shade. I'm going to kind of mix 1987, this gold shade right here, and I'm going to mix this color with Pop right there. I'm just going to pick them up. I'm just going to kind of create a mix, and I'm just going to put that on the inner portion of my lid. Just playing around with color combinations, and I like how this one ended up. So I'm just going to mimic those steps completely to make sure I get the even results. So now what I'm going to do with that same brush is I'm going to go into the shade Harajuku, which is this really beautiful pink color. A really pretty pink that has almost a dusty rose kind of vibe to it. I'm just wetting my brush. I'm going to start placing that over those lighter shades. And I will say 100% the shade, I haven't really used this shade before because it does have to be built up. I really do like this palette. I think it's an amazing everyday neutral palette, especially if you are somebody who's a little bit more on the fair side. But the pops of color in here you definitely have to work with, which is probably why I don't reach for them all the time. And again, I want this series to not just be about using the palettes I already have in my collection, but doing something interesting and a little bit different with them that I wouldn't normally do. Once I place that color there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with that deep burgundy shade with Punk with the S020. And again, just kind of wiggle back and forth to kind of work on that transition. And I'm going to go back in with that flat shader brush with a little bit more of Harajuku. And I'm just going to work on that transition until I'm happy with it. I like to pat and wiggle. So I'll pat and place the color, and then I'll just wiggle it back and forth to blend it in. Those are some technical terms right there, guys. And again, I'm just going to take that BR250 brush with no more product on it and just buff it out. Now I'm going to pick up a BRC S03, and I'm going to go in with a mix of Blondie, which is this shade right here. Oops, see if you can read it. Blondie and Skimp. I'm going to pick up just a mix there. And with this brush, I'm just going to take this right underneath the brow bone. Just kind of brighten everything up. One more time, just picking up that BR250 brush. Again, no product on it. We're just making sure everything is blended out and soft. And then I'm going to pick up that that Wet n Wild Fluffy brush one more time and do the same thing. And you can see I really deepened up the look on this eye. So what we're going to do, since we're not doing lashes and we're not doing a winged liner, which those are like, I feel like people see those as the gold standard for drama, for a dramatic look. And it's not really necessarily so. You can be glammed out and dolled up without winged liner and without lashes. I'll say it a million times. You just have to find other ways to do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with a pencil liner and deepen up the look and add a lot of beautiful smokiness to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Milani liquid like eyeliner pencil in black, and I'm going to tight line and I'm going to line my waterline. And once I've got that liner there, if it's a little messy, you guys know how I feel about messy liner. I like it because I like that you can smoke it out a little bit later. I'm going to take it just at my lash line on the outer half of the upper lid. And we're going to smooth that in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a small shader brush. This is the S12, BRC S12 from Coastal Scents. And I'm just going to start kind of fading that liner into my lash line and smoking it out. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the lower lash line, but this time with the BRC S12 brush, I'm going to pick up a little bit of that Punk shade. We're going to take that right along the lower lash line. And then with that same brush, we're going to go back in to the Harajuku shade right here, and we're going to pick up some more of that. We're going to pick some more of that shade up, and I'm just going to run that right under the inner half of my inner corner of my eye, not my inner corner, sorry guys. And then I'm going to go in with that Stark shade again on a BRC S06 brush. We're going to kind of clean up and soften up that under eye area. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of that Punk shade on that BRC S12 brush and just go over the liner on the lower lash line. And just kind of fade it up. It would probably help if I'm in focus. Guys, I'm sorry. I've been filming so many tutorials, I think it's just a blur at this point. My cat is playing with my umbrella light. What are you doing? Peta cat. Alright, I'm going to go in with that pink shade, that Harajuku shade one more time. Just kind of soften up that transition one more time just to make sure it's exactly the way I want it. And then we're going to go in with mascara. For mascara today, I'm using the Colossal Big Shot Volume Express Waterproof from Maybelline. I'm really liking this mascara, and since we're not doing lashes today, I really wanted something that was going to give me a lot of just pop, volume, and length, and I feel like this mascara really does that for me. And then for the last step, guys, I'm just going to take a little bit of Blondie on a BRC S09 brush, and we're just going to use that on the inner corner. That's the eyes done, so we're going to zoom out and do the rest of the face. Alright guys, for contouring today, I'm just going to use my BRC S25 brush and my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour in Light. I'm just going to take the actual contouring side. I hate this packaging so much. Doing this just going through this process, I really have, you know, I already, you know, people who like Jordan Hans and Alex Faction and Raw Christie Beauty who do these 31 days of tutorials for Halloween where they're doing all these crazy SFX makeup tutorials and stuff where it's not just even like regular makeup, but going through the process of prepping and putting together those amazing tutorials, just doing this process, which is, you know, in comparison, not that taxing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely been an interesting process going through it and learning it, and I'm about halfway through it right now. And you know, it's difficult, you know. I don't want to say it's difficult. It's not difficult, but it is. You are investing your time in coming home and setting up your lights and setting up your camera and filming and making sure you like the tutorial. And I'm getting to the point where I'm being really, really picky about what I actually post on my channel, especially when it comes to tutorials, because I want to provide quality content for you guys. And so sometimes some of these tutorials I've filmed 2 or 3 times before I actually like filmed and edited and was gonna post, and then went back and was like, no, I can do that better. So I just have mad respect for the people who do those 31 days of like actual difficult SFX tutorials, because just going through the process and learning how difficult it is to do 31 just regular makeup tutorials, just my hat goes off to them, because that's just insane. And I'm going to go ahead and just use, for the rest of my face, I'm going to use this palette. This is the Color Icon Blush and Glow Trio in Sunset Junction. Guys, I know this is limited edition, but I have it out. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm just going to use it. So I'm just going to bronze up my face. I'm just going to use the same brush just to kind of warm up my face a little bit. I like the blush in here, and I think it's really going to go with the eye because it's a little bit more subdued and dusty. I actually really like the bronzer in here too. And this whole palette just gives such a beautiful subtle glow to the skin. I just think it's gorgeous. So we're gonna go in with the blush on the same brush because I'm just not gonna be that fancy today. To focus on the apples of the cheeks and then work back. And guys, you probably noticed I have been doing this like clockwork, but I'm going to take my Ambient Lighting Powder palette and just with a big fluffy brush and mix all 3. And I've been doing this before. I've been putting my highlighter on, and I feel like it just adds such a beautiful like healthy glow to the skin. It adds a really beautiful like kind of soft focus to it. I mean, these powders, I know they're pricey, but they're extremely worth the money. I'm not going to say that I don't say it a lot, but I 110% recommend this product. I think it is just absolutely worth the money if you are interested in it. And I think what it does for my skin, especially this time of year being so dry, is just fantastic. All right, guys, and then I'm just going to go in with my fake NARS brush and the highlighter in that palette and just finish off the face. I really wish Wet n Wild would make these palettes permanent because they are so good. Just gonna do some light highlighting. Alright, and since we're kind of going for like a winter berry type of look, I'm gonna go, I did a nude on my last tutorial, so I'm giving myself permission to do a vampy lip on this one. My cat is on my vanity, knocking stuff off because I'm not paying attention to him. Guys, I'm going to go in with my Jordana Easy Liner for Lips in Cabernet. Okay, lips are looking a little crazy right now, but I'm going to go back and clean that up. And I'm going to go in with this beautiful shade from Milani called Matte Love. Okay, I think I fixed it. It's good enough. Alright everybody, so this is the finished look. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Again, it's always fun when you take a chance and do something different and it works out. You know, try a color combination that you wouldn't normally do. try a technique that you wouldn't normally do. Try a shape that you wouldn't necessarily do with your eyeshadow, because you never know. You never know what's gonna work and what you're gonna like. It's playtime, guys, and just take advantage of that. But I hope that this look really encouraged you to take this, what seems like a very neutral palette and what I feel like is a very neutral everyday palette for a lot of people, and just opened up the door so that you can now not only use it in your everyday routine, but use it for a special occasion or a date or a holiday party, whatever the case may be. And I know we get drilled into our heads over and over and over again through YouTube, through Instagram, that if you do not master the wing, if you don't master the lashes, if you do not master the perfect highlight in the selfie, then you cannot be fierce and fabulous and glam. And that is just not true. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you're wearing makeup in a way that makes you feel confident and beautiful, then that's when your inner beauty shines through, and you're just gonna light up a room, and everybody is gonna be wondering what you're wearing, what you're doing, because you look so stunning. And that is the point, and that is the purpose, and that is the fun in makeup. So never let somebody tell you that you can't be glam without lashes, without liner, whatever it is, because it's just not true. But guys, I'm gonna get off my soapbox here, and I just want to say I hope that y'all are enjoying this series. I hope it is helpful or informative or just fun, and just puts you in a holiday spirit, or, you know, helps get you excited about your collection again. And, you know, that's the point. And I just thank you so much for hanging out with me the first half of this month. I'm really excited about the looks coming up. We're going to be doing some really, especially the last week of the month, some fun, structured, just over the top New Year's inspired tutorials. So I hope you're excited for those, as well as some Christmas looks coming up. But guys, as always, if you like this tutorial, be sure to check out my channel tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, for the next one. But until then, guys, have an amazing day, have a rockin' week, and I'll see you next time.